Okay, in this video we're checking out the SBC Maker K2. This is a bind and fly model. This one happens to have an XM Plus receiver. It does come in other receiver versions, so you want to check the link down below for the different receiver versions. I believe it also comes as a plug and play without a receiver. Now, this is the first of many of the sort of sub 2.5 inch, I guess, sub 3 inch HD recording micros that are based on the Split Mini version 2 or the Caddx Turtle version 2. That's the ones with the single board. And so you can see many more of these on my channel. This is just the first of many. This one happens to come in a 2-inch prop. It's actually the Avon Blur prop. I've actually switched out the prop here for the Avon Mini, which is a 2.3-inch prop. I'll explain that here in a second. But yeah, to go over the specs real quick here, it's 110mm frame, motor to motor, 2.5mm bottom plate, and 2mm side plates. And you have a bunch of these 20mm standoffs. You got your Split Mini V2 there, of course, and XM Plus receiver. The motors on here are BBB or 3B Hobby or 3BR Hobby 1105 6000 kV. Pretty nice motors. And the way they, obviously set this up, you've got a dual stack setup here, two 20x20 stacks. So on the front here, you've got your, looks like, flight controller and your video transmitter there. That's what the VTX antenna is in this situation over here in the front. And then they put the Split Mini here in the back on top of the 4-in-1 AC. That's a BLE S20 amp 4-in-1 AC, so D-Shot 600 capable. And then the flight controller is an F4 flight controller. And the video transmitter is your standard SBC Maker video transmitter. No smart audio still. Hopefully they'll fix that soon. That's one of the things that still bugs me. Gotta change all your bands, channels, and power with the one button here and the two LEDs. And then the dipole antenna here is actually soldered on. It's not connected via MMCX, so if you want to change the antenna, you're going to have to desolder and solder. So that's another thing that's kind of a downside. Now, it comes with an XT30 also, and LED in the back here and buzzer. So pretty, overall pretty nice. Now, I flew it a few times. You'll see 3 demo flights. I flew it with 3 different batteries to give you guys a better idea of what kind of things to expect. Now, I initially flew it on the 350 milliamp hour and a 450 milliamp hour 3S on the stock tune that it came with. And if you're just kind of cruising around, so there's like some demo flights of this on their Instagram where they're just kind of cruising around kind of slow, that tune's fine. But if you want to do any kind of acro, then as soon as you fly this into prop wash or into its own prop wash, let's say if you do like an S-split or split S, I'm sorry, or some sort of a power loop or whatever, then you're going to get a lot of prop wash oscillation vibrations. So after those couple flights, you'll see those first, I went and flew a 550, and I wanted to get more flight time as well. So I flew the 2 smaller batteries, the 350 and 450, on the original prop as well. Original tune, original prop, the Avon Blur 2-inch prop. And on the bigger battery, I went to this bigger 2.3-inch prop, and I got much more flight time. I think I got like 4.5 minutes of flight time. And also reflashed the flight controller and did my own tune based on the Betaflight 3.5 baseline settings, and you can check out that video down below if you want to know what kind of settings to put in. And I just flew it on the stock tune. I didn't tune it. I just flew default PIDs, and it flew a lot better. Still had a little bit more prop wash on hard turns, but I think that could be tuned out with just a little bit tuning. Probably needs a reduction in probably D gain, maybe P gain. Yeah, I didn't really bother to spend too much time in there because I don't think that I would really consider this a freestyle acro flyer. This is more of a cruiser and light acro, and kind of I think this would be useful in smaller spaces, parks, and that kind of stuff. If you want to kind of just cruise around and get HD video for your flights, this is a nice setup. And then I would recommend this 550 GMB 3S LiPo. This two actually was a pretty good combo. So I'll put links to the battery and these props. I recommend switching that, and then also recommend putting in on the tune that I have from the baseline settings from the other video, link down in the description as well. And in terms of actually refining the PID tune, I would just lower the P gains and D gains, and that should help with any prop wash oscillation with those settings that I have in the other video. That's pretty much it. I thought it flew good after that. You'll see that the final flight will be on this battery with this setup here. and I think that's the best flight out of the three. And I'll go ahead and show you all three flight demos, and stay tuned for more videos on a lot more of these micros with the HD recording. I think this is going to be a trend for next year. You're going to see a lot more of these in 2019.